Welcome back, everyone. Project TC36 Part 3, wrapping up the interior finally. It's been a few weeks of on and off progress, but everything is installed and it's cleaned up, and man, it looks so much better than it did when the car first came. So unfortunately, this interior was kind of a mess when the car came to us. It was just really dirty and sloppy. Wires everywhere, things weren't bundled very well. The PDM and the kill switch had to be moved. They were on the floor really close to this exhaust right here, and you can tell that area gets hot just from some discoloration on the floorboards. So we installed a Condor Speed Shop short shifter on the ZF 5-speed transmission that's in this car. It's got a Motorola radio now with push-to-talk on the steering wheel. I had to figure out how to integrate that into the existing wiring. For anyone that has to do that in the future, it's pretty simple actually. There's a 3-pole connector for the push-to-talk button, but actually only 2 of those wires are populated. For the steering wheel, if you have a momentary switch, then it's just bridging the ground on the radio car harness. So it's actually pretty straightforward in the end. And in the trunk, we've got a cool shirt box now that is operated by the CAN keypad on the dashboard. So the things that went a long way to cleaning up this interior were literally cleaning it, vacuuming it out, and wiping it down. But we added a bunch of so-called delete panels for the glove box, the airbag that doesn't exist anymore. We added end caps to the dashboard to clean up how they meet with the cage. There's a gauge cluster delete panel to blank that out. Some of the air vents were covered up, and the driver's seat was shampooed and cleaned up really well. The wiring and the rest of the interior had a lot of powdery substance on them, something from sanding the trans tunnel or something that got painted in here. It wasn't paint overspray, it was dust, and it came off. But since part of the wiring harness is cloth taped, it was just like a magnet for the stuff. So everything had to be wiped down, vacuumed, and cleaned up carefully. One of the projects I wanted to do was to replace the stickers on the CAN keypad. This is a Cosworth keypad. It is super nice. It's multicolor LED. And the stickers work, basically, they're like semi-transparent and black, so the light can shine through certain parts of them. There was nothing particularly wrong with the old ones, but they were just applied. A lot of them were really crooked, and a few of them were peeling, so it just seemed right to start fresh and do it over again. The kill switch in this car is pretty cool. It's a Cosworth unit. I've never seen one like it before. It seems to be a solid state unit rather than a mechanical switch or like a mechanical solenoid that clicks when you turn it on and off. Not exactly sure how that works, but it's a pretty badass setup. One of the last remaining things for the interior of this car will be to have the fire bottle recertified. Bimmer World does it. It's a Lifeline Novec system. It's the electronic actuated one, so it costs a little bit more to service, but really the only reason we haven't done it yet is because the car's not ready to hit the track yet, so kind of putting it off to be one of the last things so that the certification lasts longer. So as you guys can see, this interior is extremely dirty. Dust, dirt, clay, whatever, you name it, it's all in here. It needs a really good wash. So I'm gonna be using this Optimum No Rinse Wash and Shine. This is a rinseless car wash, but I've used it for a long time for interiors. It does a great job because you don't have to hose down the car. You don't have to get it particularly wet. I put some in a wash bucket, and I get a damp rag, dip it in the wash, wring it out so it's not totally wet, and use it to wipe down the interior. Typically, you'll want to dry the interior off afterwards, but this stuff works really well for dirty interiors, and I'll show you the results here in a little bit. But it is great for stuff like this too. The cage is dirty. This whole area has, it hasn't been cleaned probably ever. And it shows up a lot on a white car. Even black interiors can benefit from it. I was doing it on my E30 for a while, so a lot of this really dirty stuff's gonna look really nice and shiny again in a few minutes. Thanks for sticking around. If you found this to be helpful or enjoy the content, please be sure to subscribe here on YouTube, as well as on our website, risingxedge.com. We got about 2 to 3 articles a month, free content, stuff about club racing, car setup, the emotions of racing, all sorts of real stuff. Kind of whatever speaks to me at the moment, I'm gonna write about it. Hopefully you find it helpful. We appreciate your support.